Shout out to Hispanics causing panic.
Hispanics are causing panic, baby. Let's do it.
We're being joined by Fredious Rojas. Did I get that right?
Hey, everybody call me Freddie, but if you guys want to say my real name, you guys can say Fredious.
All right. Freddie works for me, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
all right,
it easy for everybody.
Well, there we go. All right. You know, how was training today?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Every day it feels like it gets tougher and tougher to get out of bed. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Hey, but it's all worth it. I mean, yeah, we just had a workout not too long ago, so it's good after to get a workout and to get this in. And I'm grateful for you guys for giving me the opportunity to be on here and talk about what I love to do for life, and also get a hear what you guys want to say or think about it.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because you just said it right there. You love to do it. Very few people get to do what they love to do. A lot of people have jobs. A lot of people work hard, you know, to do what they actually get to do what they love. And that's a great thing right there. Talk to us about your fight. I was having a hard time finding the fight, but talk to us about how the fight went. According to BoxRec, it was a first round knockout. Am I getting that correct?
Yeah, first round knockout. It was like probably 50 seconds in or a minute in the first round. So, but that was a whole funny story how it all happened, because they changed the opponent 2 days before the weigh-ins, and I didn't know until the day I got there, until the day of the weigh-ins, right? So we get there, and I'm like, you know, I'm trying to size up everyone, because usually in the amateurs, when you seeing who you're gonna fight, you sizing up everyone and say, oh, okay. And I'm pretty tall for fighting at 140. Well, really tall for fighting at 147 at welterweight. So I'm looking around trying to size up everything, and I'm accidentally sizing up his coach. And I'm like, oh, okay, he's that tight of my distance here and there. And then I see this short guy, this really, really short guy, just take off his shirt and walk right by the scale. I was like, what? But I mean, I'm there to do my job, and I'm there to fight. So whoever's there, you know, I don't mind.
You probably missed him the first time you walked by, you know?
Look, the funny thing is, I saw him the whole time when he was there, but I never suspected that he was a boxer at all. He was just walking around.
Hey, he had a losing record, but he had a lot of experience as a pro. But, you know, if you're honest, was he that good? Like, did he give you any resistance? Like, how did it go?
No, I mean, the guy never touched me the whole time. My reach was too much. Me personally, not to see me in a cocky way or something, but I believe I was way ahead of next level, as you could say. Currently I'm living in Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Okay, yes. All right.
Texas
That's a good
boy
spot
now.
to be. Yeah. Houston, Texas is a hotbed right now, you know, so it's a good spot to be at. You know, it says here your favorite fighter was the Cuban.
Rigondeaux. Yeah, Rigondeaux,
yes.
Lara. Rigondeaux has... I know a lot of people don't like Rigondeaux, but me personally, I love Rigondeaux's head movement, his feet movement. Honestly, I think Rigondeaux is one of the best fighters that I've seen.
No, I'm totally agreeing with you, man. What is it that you like about Erislandy Lara too? Because he's one of the guys that I really liked as well back then.
Lara, he's a way slower pace from Rigondeaux, but I love, because the one thing I really love about Lara is, if you notice, throughout the whole fight, he has the same facial expression that he does not show you when he's tired or anything. He's the same face throughout the whole fight, and he'll fight anybody. It don't matter. And he has a stiff jab. He's there. Boxing wise, he's there strong. He doesn't let anybody push him around or anything, which I find fantastic.
We know the cliches in boxing. He's just a runner, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate that, man. But
I believe everybody has, like, you know, their own styles. I mean, I get it. You know, a lot of people say, nowadays people just want to see knockouts, or they want to see, you know, people going at it. But at the same time, you know, this is our job and it's our health. Nobody wants to, you know. For the past, was it last year or the year before that, we had a little cluster of people who were dying. And, you know, that stuff is heartbreaking. We don't want to see none of our fighters die in this world. We just want to have a good time and make sure they come out safely. So every time we go in there, we're risking our lives. So ain't nobody want to see someone getting hurt.
Like, any little nuggets from both of those guys and add it to your fighting style?
I'll say with Rigondeaux, I do have the feet movement of a Cuban style. Lara, I would bang in there with you. I got the same attitude wise. I wouldn't care who I fought. fight or anything. Here at the gym when we be training over here with Prince, with Kay and stuff, Kay be throwing us in with heavyweights or with Jared Anderson and all them, and it's great work where everybody's getting over there. You're learning and you're experiencing stuff.
2020 Olympic trials, you were second.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about that.
Oh my gosh.
Were you robbed? What's going on?
Oh man. So me personally, Olympic trials, I fought the first day and I lost by 3-2 split. Me and my team personally thought we did enough to win, but double elimination. We got that out of my head. We got the full day. We kept fighting. I fought 6 days in a row compared to the other guy. He only fought 4 days. So by the time my body got to the finals, I was body all hurting and bruising up already throughout those days. So you know how body is kind of slowing down, but it's no excuse. We got to the finals. We thought we did everything we can. The fight was really close. It was with one of my bestest friends. Hats off to him,
Okay.
I personally thought I won. We still didn't worry about it because then we had Bulgaria. That was the real team selection, as you could say. So I wasn't really worried about it. We went down there. First day I won 5-0, and then the second day I got cut on the top of my eyelid, and the corner stopped it, which I found surprising because on the scorecards I was winning the fight. So he was telling me if I was okay, and I said, yeah, I could see I was fine, but the referee, he took me to the doc. The doc said I was fine. And we kept fighting, and then 10 seconds in the second round, the head coach threw the towel in. So at some point, I feel like I got cheated away because if I won that fight in the point system of USA Boxing, I would have been somewhat ahead. I would have been ahead or tied up, as you could say. So I was still right there in the running point. But just because of that fight, you could basically say of the coach, my basic Olympic dream was basically shattered into a million pieces, And it's something I remember crying like a little girl when I went back into the room because it's devastating. I've been training since I was 10 for this Olympic thing, and not everybody goes to the Olympics. So saying that you can be an Olympian or go to the Olympics is really big. But I remember when I went back to the room, I sat down and like a back of my head is like I heard a small voice that said, God has a plan for you. I mean, everybody starts off a different way. Things happen in life for a reason. And, it's tough at the moment, but you just got to keep pushing forward and keep doing what I love to do.
Now, in 2018, the Elite National Championships, you were first. In 2017, St. Tournament, third. You were first in 2016. National Golden Gloves, third. And the National Junior Olympics, of course, in 2013, you were second.
And how do you think you'll transition from amateurs to pros? Do you think it's in your advantage?
I feel like that pros will benefit me way more. Everything the amateurs are way fast paced. You always got to keep on your toes. And you really can't sit down on your punches or anything. And I'm a long range fighter. Long fighters are usually, that's their fight. They love the pace, slow down more a bit. They could pick their shots, shoot the jab straight to the body. So that would benefit me so much and I could sit down on my punches and watch and just walk the guy down instead of if I got this short little dude coming at me in the amateurs ballistic for those 3 rounds and trying to move around and try to hook him out and stuff like that, which be a little bit more harder knowing that you only got 3 rounds. If you lose the first round, you have to win the other 2,
Yep.
And then in the pros, it's a way slower pace. Even if someone gets, you have that pressure fighter, you just step back, uppercut, or even throughout the fight, you can adjust, And that's one thing that I love about the pros. You adjust through the whole fight. If one thing's not working in the plan, switch it up, and and that can benefit you through the whole.
In the tournament before going to Bulgaria, you got to the final and you fought in the final one of your friends. How did that go? How close were you to him, and did that play any mind tricks on you in the ring?
No, it didn't really play no mind tricks. It's boxing. Friends are always gonna fight friends, especially in the amateurs. I fought Tiger Johnson. We made the team together when we were youth in 2016, and then a couple months later we went to Worlds. Then literally a week later after that, we went to the Elite Nationals, and that's when we just turned 18. So that was our first year in Elite. So from 2016 to 2020, we've been sparring each other and everything. So we knew each other really well. So, I mean, there was no mind games or anything. Maybe there, nerves that everybody has before a fight. But we both knew what we were getting into. We were both the top dogs in USA boxing from the 132 and the 141 division, or 132 through 152 division. So it was mostly, I know USA Boxing had their eyes on us, and they knew that it was going to be us facing in the final. So, yeah, I thought it was hats off to him. He's my best friend, and it is what it is. I'm starting off my journey, and hopefully he gets the gold medal down there in Tokyo.
Should we expect when we watch you in the ring? Like, what's your style? Like, what are you looking to do in that ring to your opponent?
I would say I'm more like a Tommy Hearns fighter, to be honest.
Okay.
When he throws his flurries in there once in a while. I like to finish it quick, but I do like to take my time. If I know there's a fighter in there that's not at my level, I will try to take him out earlier before I let the fight get even longer. But if I know it's a tough fighter or I'm gonna have to be careful with this hard puncher, I will take my time. But I'm a long range fighter. But when I need to fight on the inside, I will fight on the inside.
How long is your reach? Do you?
I don't even know. I mean, I'm 6'2", basically 6'3". My reach is really long. I mean, I fight in at 147, so.
So you're
big welterweight, man.
Yeah.
When I think of those sizes.
My next question, yeah.
I'm thinking of Diego Pacheco. That's who he reminds me of, because he's really tall and he makes a 154, I think, but he's something like 6'3" or 6'4" or something like that.
Yeah, the other kid, the one at 54, the really tall one, Sebastian
from Fora,
that kid, I remember him. I remember seeing it every tournament, and this kid, super tall, and now seeing him in the pros and on TV and fighting him and all these guys that be looking like midgets against him, but he's like extremely tall. So and that's basically me in the welterweight. So
yeah, you're like T-Rex, bro.
Yeah.
It
benefits me. It benefits
me. Yeah. Now, how much do you like fighting on the inside? Because that's the thing, right? Like, are you aware that maybe it's going to benefit you more to keep distance? Because I've heard Fondora say, I love to fight on the inside. Paul Williams would say, I don't know, guy. I want to use my height, but I just love to fight on the inside. Like, how much do you love fighting on the inside?
I love fighting the inside. That's something that Kay and my father are working on with me, especially in the pros. Use more of my distance. I do bang it out sometimes with the smaller guys. I think of it as kind of like a show of respect that even if I'm in the inside, you can't bully me around just because I'm so tall and, slim. But, I mean, it don't matter what way you're going to find me. Long range, short range, middle range. I'm going to adjust everywhere I can and just know I'm going to fight you either way it is.
Okay. All right. Yeah. What's your favorite punch? Like in your arsenal?
Okay. So my favorite punch, I would say it will be my lead hand hook. Because everybody that I spar, they say they never see it. They say it looks like it's coming in as a jab. But supposedly they say like I twist it in the end as a hook. I think I'm throwing it like a regular long hook. But then they say they think it's like a jab, but it comes in as a hook. So that always gets everybody. The straight hand and the hook. So, that's the killer weapons for a lefty.
That's some Razor Ruddock type stuff right there.
I think Crawford just did that in his last fight. He threw something that looked like was going to be a jab in the middle of throwing it. He changed it to a hook and it knocked out his opponent. Yeah,
what he did was like he kind of put his elbow out and then boom. You know what I mean? And Brooke didn't see it because his glove was blocking it. You know what I mean? He didn't see the elbow point out, and they just hit him. It was a beautiful shot. We have a question from the chat here from Andre Rodriguez. Does Freddie study his opponents with profound details at this point, or is this just the basics?
No. So in the amateurs, I would say we just did the basics because in amateurs you just go up and show, and you don't know who you're fighting until you step in the ring, unless it's somebody known. But in the pros now, we try to do as much as research of the opponent, what mistakes they're doing, what they do right. So by the time the fight comes, we know what we're doing. Kay Karoma, my father, they always making me do a lot of film study on my sparring and watching the other person's fight to see what things we need to work on and what things we need to adjust if this scenario happens in a fight.
No Paul Boxiano's ask him what weight he'll end up at. Also, his walk around season weight. Do you have an idea right now? Like how high? Because I mean, you're pretty tall, so like how high you can go in weight?
Surprisingly, my walk around weight is not high, really high at all. It's literally only 10 pounds over the 47, so it's 57, 56. So which benefits me a lot.
Well,
I'll probably see myself going up to 54, the next weight class up later on in the future. Hopefully getting these belts here first and then going up.
Yeah, I always say it's good to fight close to your weight because you don't have to focus so much on cutting weight. You could just focus more on the fight, on the strategy, the game plan. A lot of these guys, they have to cut 30, 40 pounds, and half the time they're just cutting weight instead of just focusing on the fight. So
and it'd be hard. Yeah, that's what my coaches be trying to help me with, and my strength coach right now, Evans, he's been training me like a dog. He be giving us a lot of nutrition stuff. The boy tried drowning me in the swimming workouts, but it'd be helping me with my breathing. He always talks to me all the time about the weight stuff. And like earlier today, this morning on our swimming workout, he was telling me about we don't understand how somebody could be 60 pounds overweight or 50 pounds overweight and then lose all of it and be drained by the time the fight. And they're basically all cutting on water. So by the time the fight comes, they could think they're strong, but their body's going to tell them something else. And it's something we working on to stay close by weight. We don't want to be too far up. So we could be strong. We could be eating good and rehydrated and everything.
Okay. Yeah. Run PMC is asking if you've ever happened to spar Jared Hurd.
Jared Hurd. No, not yet. Okay. So at the gym, everybody's there. Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Kenny Simmons, Jared Hurd. Everybody's there. All the top dogs. And we're all training there together. We're all one big team. Josh. We all go with each other like round robin. And for some reason, every time we always miss it by this much. But everybody's sparring. I would want to spar Jared. Jared right now, he's in training camp, so everybody's been sparring with him. His defense is crazy. Just watching him spar every day, it's just being surrounded by that environment and watching everybody have their own styles or my style versus, let's say, with Jared's style. He could be a heavyweight, but there's things that if he hits me one punch, I know, I can't do this. Or, I can expect if I could take this power from a heavyweight, I could definitely take this shot from somebody else who's at 147,
All right. We have Andre Rodriguez with another question. Usually taller fighters get hit around the ribs a lot. Are pure body punchers the toughest style you have ever faced?
No, I feel like those would be the easier fights for me. I love it when people put me pressure or try to come at the body because I fought like I've had those fighters my whole life. It's something that I'll prefer that than somebody who boxes, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's easy shots, uppercut, hooks, feints,
And now, I mean, you're in Houston though. Can you drop something? You don't have to tell us how it went down or nothing like that. We understand sparring is work, and it stays in the gym. But can you give us some names? Who have you sparred with? Who do you work with?
Shakur Stevenson, Jared Anderson, Kenny Simmons. What's their name? There's a lot of top dogs over there. Top of the head, I can't remember, but all the big guys that you basically think half of them are there with K Karoma, and we're all one team, so K be throwing us in with everybody over there.
Okay.
Royal Rumble style.
Yeah. It'd be funny because when I first started boxing, I hated it. I hated boxing. So the way how I started was my dad, he was boxing at that time. And I remember me and my brother, we were sitting down in the living room. And he comes by and he's like, you guys want to come to the store with me? And then, as a kid, when you're getting, you're like, yeah, candy, I'm going to get candy or some type of chips. So me and my brother, yeah, we'll go with you. We run to the car, and my sisters are right behind. He's like, no, you guys stay here. And me and my brother, we were laughing at my sisters. We get in the car. We see my dad pass up, Smiths. Passes another one. Me and my brother like, maybe, he's going to go to another. Passes like 5 more. Then we go to a gym in Vegas named Johnny Taco's, a really popular gym over there. We go there. He drops us off with a coach named Rafael Ramirez. We train. He drops us off there for 3 hours and leaves. Comes back. He asks us if we liked it. I lied to him. I said, "Yeah." Been stuck with it ever since. I didn't start liking boxing until I was 14 when I first made the team as a junior. And I went to the Olympic Training Center when I was 14, and that's when I fell in love with it. And I was like, "This is what I got to do for the rest of my life." And sometimes I know, especially young guys, they get in the rebellious stage, or they get a girlfriend or something, and they want to get a job or something like that. But how I see it, if you spent so many years in this sport and you know that you're talented and you can become someone in life and just throw it away the last second, it's just ridiculous to me. I don't know how sometimes some people could just throw it all out the window, the career that could have happened or would have been if they just stuck around just a little and sacrificed just that little bit.
Most definitely. And I have a question related to that, but first I want to ask you one more question from the chat. Okay. Capital Type says, is the fact that you do well against body punchers, the fact that you have your long arms, do your long arms, help you, blocking body shots with those elbows?
Of course. I mean, yeah, I do say it's a big factor with my arms that it helps me. I mean, it helps me keep my distance from them and yeah, different types of blocks that we got to do and cover up. So things I've been learning with K.
Now, talk to us about, your time with Team USA, how that personally, not just as a boxer, but just personally impacted you, as a person.
Big. I mean, I've changed throughout the sport being in the team. I'm not going to, my level exceeded when, with USA Boxing. I love USA Boxing. They're a family, everybody knows everybody. I like it. It's a boxing world. Everything's communicated. I mean, and knowing when me, Duke Reagan, Troy Isley, they're also part of my teammates that I sparred down here. Also, when we all went to Worlds down there in 2017, and I'm all three of me, Troy Isley got that bronze medal, and Duke Reagan got the silver. We made history there, being the youngest team and out of all those countries, and for the USA men boxing team having medaled in Worlds since 2009 was something phenomenal. The history that we did and doing stuff like that, I know it made USA Boxing proud, or they made the amateur community proud, and especially for us, we felt like it's a really big accomplishment. We know that we did history, so I know that USA Boxing, it was a great time. I mean, there's no excuses. I love the camps, everybody there, the staff was amazing, the fighters great. If sometimes, like they say from The Office, or one quote, I wish you knew you were in the good old days, so you can keep, so you can keep living it. But time goes back. I feel like I'm getting old. I'm already 22, but I don't know if I can say I'm getting old. But
no, I wish I was 22 again. Not old.
You're nowhere near it, buddy. Trust me.
when you're in your mid-30s, you're gonna be like, man, I wish I was 22.
Yeah, when you start getting out of bed and you're all yeah, then you're getting old, right?
my dad, he'd be telling my mom, look, get his cane, because sometimes I'd be getting out of bed, I'd be like, but he'd be like, look, get his cane. And,
there you go.
Yeah, my dad's a funny dude, man.
Did you already know that, like, if I don't make the Olympics, I'm going pro? Was that already a set decision, or did you make that afterwards?
No, I made that decision after the whole world went in this pandemic, and that little tiny break.
Right.
I took that time was like a little refresh in my mind. After all these years of taking boxing, I never had a day off, basically from a week longer off from training. So it was a good refresher. I mean, there was doubts in my head. I'm like, would I make it as a pro, or am I going to be good as a pro? Should I keep continuing this sport? Knowing deep down inside I was going to, but you have those thoughts. But yeah, after I would say probably around June, late July, I was already making. We already had the decision that I was gonna go pro. You know, if with this Olympics, we were still having fingers crossed. You know that they'll call me up and be like, "Hey, Freddie, you got the spot for Olympics." So that's why we kind of hold it off a bit. And
Right. Okay.
just until this year was over, and then when January hit, we were like, you know what, just let's knock it out the park and get this. It's time to start a new journey. We can't just sit around like ducks, you know.
Rob Boxing wants to know: do you find yourself like throwing punches, like shadow boxing in the shower? Like,
all the time. So when the water be coming down, I'll be like, but I feel like every boxer does that. I mean,
let me get every drop, like
yeah. I be doing shadow boxing everywhere. I'll be doing it in the store. I'll be doing it at home, at the laundromat. My sisters be getting mad. They don't want to go out in public with me. It's just, oh man,
That's funny.
Yeah. You know, when I did my like a little research on you, you know, an article popped up. You know, and I'm like, man, this is perfect. This is Hispanics Causing Panic, the show. You know,
oh yeah.
And I saw a title, you know, about like, you know, you talking about being Hispanic, what that means to you. Go ahead and express to the chat, to everybody listening on the Leave It in Ring Network and on YouTube, what being a Hispanic means to you.
Being a Hispanic is, I would just say we're a different breed. We give that extra spice in life. I mean, there's really no one like us in the world. We're one of the friendliest people in the world, but when we got to be mean, we got to be mean. I mean, looking back in history of all our people that they've all been through something, you know. And me being Cuban and Mexican, I think that's the biggest joy I can have in my life. My mom's side from being from Mexico, and then my dad from Cuba. Cuba, they don't got anything down there, and you know, my family down there seeing me grow and become someone in life and adelantar la familia. I don't know really how to say that in English. And then from my mom's side, you know, all my cousins and my aunts seeing me do the same thing as well. And I know my grandpa and them, they're really proud of me because they've never, you know, I don't think they ever thought they were going to have a grandson make it Olympic level athlete, you know. So to me, I think it's the biggest joy to be Latino, Hispanic in this world. I mean, there's no one like